in episode 158.
It's funny you say vulgar. So I'm the one out of my friends. I'm a little bit more of the sexual person, and it's not because, like I said, I don't do cross dressing because it's for sex. I do cross dressing because I feel gorgeous. I feel sexy. It's funny. Now she walked in. She's like, "You're still in my dresses now?" I'm like, "You gave me this dress." No, I didn't. I'm like, "Yes, you did."
Is that a common thing? You still in her dresses?
Well, there was one dress she had bought, and one day I was like, "Babe, can I wear it?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Please, can I wear it?" She was like, "Go ahead." And I wore it, and she was like, "Don't ever wear it again." I'm like, "Okay." She looked kind of upset about it. When I first got these boobs, and my friend, she did my makeup that day when it occurred, and I went to, I came. It was a birthday party for me, and I had this dress on. It was a dress. It's like I forget how to describe it, but the boobs were showing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Hey, babe," and she was just like this and just looking down. I'm like, "Yo, up, talking."
Eyes up here. Welcome to the Cross YAAS podcast, the podcast that says YAAS to cross-dressing, sexuality, and gender. Jasmine Chase returns for part two of our Curi YAAS conversation. She tells me about the time that she was tricked into going to therapy, the time she got her breastplate, and all the let's just say attention that she's gotten from it. And then we talk about social media, like the possibility of like maybe not her transitioning, but just we talk about that a bit. We talk about so much more. So just stay tuned and see what she has to say.
Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Cross Yes Podcast with Giselle Mirasol
And Billy.
Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So you mentioned earlier. You mentioned you go to therapy, or maybe did. I don't know if you still do.
Yes.
How has that been for you?
Um. So my line of work, what I'm in, um, I'm a first responder. We'll just say that, and I have seen some of the worst when it comes to humans.
Mhm.
And I didn't think it was bothering me. I thought I was okay. And about my fourth or fifth year on the job, I'm at a red light, something like that. It was a red light. The next thing you know, my heart was just beating like crazy. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, "What's about to happen?" I thought something bad was about to happen. Like I was worrisome. And my senses went into like I went to like this ultra vigilant mode, and then it went away. I got home and I told my wife about it, and my wife was like, "You just had an anxiety attack." I'm like, "No." It's like, "Yeah, you did." I was like, "No, I didn't. No, you're crazy. I didn't get that." So a couple weeks later, same thing happened, but this time it didn't last for like 30 seconds. It lasted for like 8 hours. And I'm like,
Yes.
"What is wrong?" So it got worse over a year. It kept getting worse, and then it got about 2 years. I dealt with it, and I became a totally different person. I was very mean. I was lashing out to people. I was just wasn't a nice person. And then one day I snapped at my wife. She just asked me to do something around the house, and she's like, "You know what? If you don't get help, I'm leaving." And I kind of like my wife,
Yeah.
so I was like,
You married her. I hope you liked her.
yeah. So I kind of was like, "Okay, all right." So I lied and said I used. Well, I didn't lie. I did talk to somebody at my job about it who is like a peer support,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't therapy. I only talked to him like once or twice, and that was it. And then, but it got worse. And then one day, my wife was like, "We're going to go for marriage counseling." Oh, okay. So we get to the therapist, and then this therapist gives me this thing. Oh, your insurance doesn't cover um, doesn't cover marriage, but it covers single therapy. And my wife's like, "Oh, okay. You know what? Why don't you guys get started with a therapy session? I'm gonna leave." And she left. I'm like, and I went to the therapy session. After I left, I was like, "This bitch tricked me."
She totally planned that.
She tricked me. I'm like, hold on. But it was the greatest thing she ever did for me. And I went to it for I was in it for 4 years. I did therapy, and then the therapy wasn't working all the way. So then I ended up doing this thing called DBT, called dialectical behavior therapy, which is
Okay.
where they teach you skills to use within like in the moment. So like if something frustrates you or something your anxiety is about to kick in or your depression is about to kick in or you're about to lose your temper, it has skills that you can go back to in your head and go, wait a minute, is this worth me blowing up? Is this worth me getting angry about? So, um,
So
yeah,
do you like do you ask yourself questions to de-escalate?
yeah, pretty much. And it's funny that you said de-escalate because that's one of my things I do in my job. I instruct how to de-escalate such situations.
So
That's
you must
true.
be pretty good about de-escalating yourself now. Then
Yes,
you know all the tips and tricks.
yes, I've learned how
I
to.
need to get some of those tips and tricks for me because I know I
I'm
especially
telling.
lately with the hormones, it's been raging sometimes.
Oh my, I'm telling you right now, if like I said, we can talk afterwards. I have this book and I can tell you how to get it, and it works. When I say it works, it changed my life, made me more of a positive person, and that's why Jasmine is out more because it the stuff works.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely interested. Um, so when you went to therapy, did you said you talked about like your Jasmine and dressing and stuff.
hmm
Was that a was that like a hard thing for you to I guess put out there?
Um, no, because it's therapy. It's a
Hmm.
safe place, and my therapist, I'll never forget when we first started. She was like, "Listen." And she's a white woman. She's like, I'm a white woman. I cannot relate to anything a black person's been through. So if you're not comfortable with being with me, we can. I was like, no, 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 I'm good, because she was a poly therapist as well. She was a poly, and she also works with trans people.
Hmm.
That's her specialty. Like the group I went to, that's their specialty. Poly, trans, LGBT, the whole 9 yards. So when I saw that, I brought it up, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, tell me more about it." And I started coming out more about Jasmine. And at first, it wasn't Jasmine, it was Samantha. That was her original name because I had a friend who did my makeup, and I was like, "I need a girl name." She's like, "You're Samantha. That's your name. Your name's Samantha." And I'm like, "Okay." But then when I start developing my own image, I'm like, and then I start seeing names. I'm like, for some reason, Jasmine just stuck.
It's
So
Jasmine with a Z, right?
yes,
I love this. I love the Z. The Z's
thank you.
awesome.
Also because I love jazz music too, so that's why.
Oh, okay. So it's got like a double meaning.
Yes.
That's cool.
And I started coming out about Jasmine, and one day I showed up, asked my friend to do my makeup, the one who first brought out Jasmine. I said, "Can you do my makeup so I can go to therapy?" She's like, "Yeah." And she came, she did my makeup, and I went to therapy. And I went in, and she was like, "Well, it's fine. Nice to meet Jasmine." And then it was there from there on. And that's when she would start saying, "Hey, maybe you should learn how to do your own makeup."
How was that experience of showing up as Jasmine for the first time? Was that terrifying, or were you pretty confident with it? Or
Yes and no, because I'm going to a safe place. The terrifying part was leaving the house and driving and all that fun stuff. Uh, that's always when I first started dressing. That was a terrifying part. But as I start doing it more, it's kind of like, I'm dressed, so what?
hmm. I think it's I just want to kind of back up a little bit. I think it's great that about you're saying that therapy is like a safe space, and so I think that's super awesome because that for I know for me it took a long time for me to get to therapy.
Well,
Um,
and it's funny because when you said that, I don't mean to cut you off,
no, you're
but
fine.
when you said that, that takes me back to my culture of black people.
Hmm.
Therapy doesn't exist in our culture. Why? Because there's nothing wrong with you. You just pray it away. And I think that if a lot more black people got therapy, we wouldn't have what we have now. And I mean, but we can always dive into systemic racism and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's a whole that's a whole different podcast. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but if a lot of black, especially black men that got therapy, oh my god, it'll change their life.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I'm a big proponent of therapy for all kinds of people. Anybody, honestly, I think everybody should be in some kind of therapy, even if you're fine and normal. And I'm using air quotes for people listening. Um, for me, it's very helpful. And it took me a long time to get into it. I know my ex-wife was like, for several years, like, you should do therapy. You should do therapy. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good.
There's nothing wrong with me. Only
Yeah, there's not.
crazy,
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay.
yeah, only crazy people.
That's great. I think that's super cool that even if she had to trick you to go, I think that's cool that you like really embraced it
It's funny.
and just
I never went to her and said, "I know you tricked me." I just let her know. I know she tricked me.
we're gonna finish this. You're gonna go up there. Why'd you trick me to go to therapy?
It's funny. She's right now. She's at work. She should be home here in like the next what time? Yes. In fact, what the hell is she at? She should be home here in like the next 10 minutes.
Oh,
And I told her I'll be downstairs. I was like, I'll be in the basement. I'm going to be doing my podcast. She's like, okay. In fact, let me message her right now.
cool.
I'm a very worrisome person when it comes to my partners, especially my wife, because I love her.
And no worries. I'm just gonna throw a little commercial in here. Um, Because I don't have any actual commercials recorded, so I'm just kind of throwing them in between. If you like what you're hearing and you want to support the podcast is getting technically free because you got to host stuff and websites and all this other stuff. If you'd like to support the Cross YAAS podcast, you can go to the crossyaaspodcast.com website, and there's the Patreon links where we have some great bonus content, including some we called them 3 Ways with Giselle's at the time. Pretty vulgar stuff, but pretty funny. And
I like Vulgar.
there's also vulgar is good. It's very vulgar.
Yes.
And there's also, if you can do Patreon, we also have the Ko-Fi coffee or whatever that's called. I think it's like a one-time small donation if you're so inclined and you'd like to help support us.
Well, it's funny you say vulgar. So I'm the one out of my friends. I'm a little bit more of the sexual person, and it's not because, like I said, I don't do cross dressing because it's for sex. I do cross dressing because I feel gorgeous. I feel sexy. So I'm the one that's always like, like me and my friends. We used to do this thing where we do a huge Zoom meeting with all each other. It's like 10 of us just talking shit with each other, and I'm always gonna go, haha, and then show the boobs, and then I put it back because that's me. I feel that, uh, like, I mean, you could look at my Instagram. I do post some more um, uh, sexual pics, lingerie, because I think lingerie is the most sexiest thing on a woman. Two things
Yeah,
I love.
yeah.
Man, I love seeing them in a big T-shirt, or I love seeing them in lingerie. Men, if men actually listen to this, listen to me, okay? Buy your woman lingerie. Even if the person you're dating is a crossdresser, buy them lingerie. Why? Because it's fun to undress, or how you say, unwrap your gift. Speaking of wife, hi. Still on the phone?
Hello.
My wife is like, you did get this one. You did. I promise you. I knew you were going to say that.
You look fantastic in it. Now I can never wear it again.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Curi.
We got a special guest.
I'd
I'd love to have you on the podcast sometime. I'd love to have more spousal representation too. That'd be cool.
love to.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I could totally do that. I'd love to. Supporting her
Yes.
top of my list. But not going to bed.
Yes, please. Let's make it happen. I just want to get so much representation on this podcast because There's just not enough of it.
I am totally here for it.
Yes, yes.
I love you. Hi, baby.
She's playing with our dog. I have 2 pit bulls, so
Oh, okay.
they're happy right now. Because mommy is home.
Have your dogs ever seen Jazmine and be like, "Oh shit, someone new's here"?
No, they just go, "Oh, it's you."
Oh,
That's
that
one thing.
happened.
That's what's great about dogs. Dogs, their loyalty, their love for their humans, it don't matter. They don't care what you dress as, what you do, as they're just loyal. More humans need to be more like dogs.
Oh, when I was dealing with like all my divorce stuff, and I would like dress when my wife was gone or ex-wife was gone. And there was one time, I don't know, I was in the garage, like probably smoking or something, and I came back in the house, and I had 2 little wiener dogs, and one of them started growling at me like crazy because he didn't recognize me.
Um, nope.
And
Okay,
I started talking. He's like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay."
more. How do I put this? Uh, Anybody who's listening to this podcast, adopt pit bulls, please. They're the most loyal, and they don't care who you are. As long as you feed them, you give them cuddles. They're the happiest dog in the world. Get more pit bulls.
My friend Gloria has a pit bull, super sweet pup.
Yeah, the way they bastardize the pit bull on the media is
Grandma
ridiculous.
should not stop talking about how great our dogs were.
So we'll talk about that. So make sure you get yourself a pit bull.
All right, we're going to bed.
All right, babe. Good night. She's going to bed.
Good
Cool.
night.
Good night.
I'll talk to you soon.
Great information and example. Give me my IG.
All right.
No.
I'll give you my wife's IG so
Back up, babies.
we can make things happen.
Cool.
Love you. Good
I wanna
night.
Cool. Can't wait. I want to get more. I love having representation on here. It's so great. Love talking to all the different people and so cool. Whenever I did can't think of her name. Dang it! I don't know why. Is it? I'll look it up. It's gonna bug me. Ugh. When I did the Stephanie and
Oh, from the last
yeah,
podcast.
one of the last ones I did. I talked to him for a long time, and I love talking to him. Like drawing a complete blank.
Give me a second. I'm pulling my Instagram now.
Marissa. My head kept thinking Cassandra, but it's Marissa. Marissa and Stephanie. That was my first time like having the spouse conversation or whatever. And
Yes.
that was really cool, and I'd love to get Stephanie back on here, and I'd really love to get like a spouse or significant other like roundtable going on. Because I definitely feel like there's not enough representation for them.
It's funny. She walked in. She's like, "You're still in my dresses now?" I'm like, "You gave me this dress." No, I didn't. I'm like, "Yes, you did."
Is that a common thing? You still in her dresses?
Well, there was one dress she had bought, and one day I was like, "Babe, can I wear it?" She was like, "No." I'm like, "Please, can I wear it?" She was like, "Go ahead." And I wore it, and she was like, "Don't ever wear it again." I'm like, "Okay." She looked kind of upset about it. So then, but then at that time, I didn't understand why because she was going through her own insecurities, and
Hmm.
I looked better in the dress than she did, and I was kind of like, "Oh." So that's why I buy my own clothes now. But this one, she gave what she gave to me.
Okay. Is that still the case? Does she still think you look better in them than she does?
She's upset that my butt is better than hers, but I keep
Oh,
telling her, squats.
she got to do the squats, right? I got to do the squats and lunges.
So
What about how do you see it? Do you think she looks better in the dresses than you do?
she is, my wife is probably the most beautiful, sexiest person that's ever walked the face of this earth. That's just my personal opinion. Um, yes, I mean, she has a great body. She's sexy. So I love seeing her like we talk about lingerie. Unwrapping the gift. I love seeing her lingerie. I love seeing her in a sexy dress. Like I love all of that.
Do you have any favorite kinds of lingerie?
I like halter tops because I can show off the boobies. Listen, I paid a lot of money for these things, so I'm gonna show them off as much as possible.
And that's like
Um,
a it was like a breastplate.
yes,
Oh,
I got this from boobshop.com, um, and it was funny because, like I said, when it comes to representation, you don't see a lot of if you go on like Amazon or Reuner or anything like that, when you get boobs or look for boobs for African Americans, they're either really dark or really really light. But Boob Shop, the owner, she was awesome. Like she sent me all these color palettes. She's like, choose the right one, and she just she actually works with you, which is great. And that's why I support boobshop.com because they're the ones who really like, hey, let me work with your color.
shout out
So,
to boopshop.com. If y'all want to sponsor an episode, please reach out.
yeah, she should be paying me anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
should be paying you.
no, but she's awesome.
You're
Um,
advertising every time, every photo.
yes, there, exactly. But I like the lingerie, the halter lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's probably my favorite. I like showing off. Uh, I like showing my arms, and of course my butt and my legs, which I think are my strongest features.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hot, hot.
use that off.
Does speaking of hot, does the breastplate does that get like hot or
Oh,
sweaty or anything?
it's like you're talking about boob sweat. It's not that bad right now, but if I was outside, oh my god, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had some cutlets that I would wear, just like some inserts. And the boob sweat was for sure real on those, but I can't wear those anymore because my nips hurt too much.
Uh, got
Too
you.
sensitive.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first got these boobs, and my friend she did my makeup that day, Miranda Kerr, and I went to I came. It was a birthday party for me, and I had this dress on. It was like it was a dress. It's like I forget how to describe it, but the boobs were showing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Hey, babe," and she was just like this and just looking down. I'm like, "Yo, up." Talking.
Eyes up here.
And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." So these people, da 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 da. She's like, uh huh, uh huh. Yo, and she's like, I'm like, "Is that what men do?" She's like, "Yes."
She was about 2 feet away from a motorboat.
Oh my god! And it's funny because I didn't know how much boobs attract people just going. I've had
It's,
people, Fat Life, Instagram, you name it. They go, "Are those your actual boobs?" I'm like, "Well, I did pay for them, so yes."
yeah, they're yours. You own them.
Yeah, I've had people go out. Like I've been out at bars, and I've had women walk up to me like, "I hate to do this, but can I touch them?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But it's still at the same time like, would you want a man to come up to you and say, "Hey, can I touch your boobs?"
True, true. You want to buy me a drink first? Get to
Yeah,
know me a little
exactly.
bit.
Um, but yeah, I love. I think boobs are amazing. I love breasts. I told my wife if I ever got a chance, like if I said if I was ever going to transition, I would get boobs this big.
Mm. You never know. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know about the transition part. That's totally up to you. And but if you did, you never know. You might get boobs that big.
yeah. I mean, I juggled with the thought, but I like being a guy. Being a guy is so much fun. It is. Uh, but being a woman is just fun too. But I never knew, like, if men want to know exactly I wouldn't say exactly what they go through, but just the harassment. Like I've been out and I've had men just think they can just say or do anything they want towards me. And you would think that, excuse me, and you would think that they would see the muscle, and you would think, hey, that's a guy underneath that makeup. No, they see a woman, and then their mindset goes to a place where I can do or say anything I want to them. I never forget one time my friend and I we went to a straight club, and we're there having a good time. And then she went to go get her friend that was outside, and they were gone for a while. So I go outside looking for them, and I'm in this very sexy halter club dress, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I find I'm like, yo, let's go, come on, let's go back in. And this dude was like, comes up and grabs me by my arms, like, hold on, sweetheart, I'm just trying to talk to him, and when he touched me, I was like, it was the ickiest feeling in the world.
Mm.
Don't touch me.
You
And he
didn't
was,
get like the deep voice out. You're like, get the fuck away from me,
it
or
almost,
whatever.
and I was trying to be like cordial, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, don't fucking touch me. And he kind of looked at me and he was like, yo, chill. Like, I'm just trying to talk to him. Like, she's fine. She's with me. And I just took her, and just him touching me was like, it sent me to like some of the stories my wife has told me from my partners have told me about what they've been through. And it's kind of like, ugh, men are trash. Not all men. There's a lot of good men out there.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on. I have my own like preconceived notions of men.
Are
Not
you,
that I have a lot of like interactions with men as me being female, because I don't really go out a whole lot.
so
But
are you pansexual, straight, bi, gay?
I consider myself asexual.
Hmm.
I don't have like a lot of attraction feelings. Um, I mean, I was married to a woman. I like feminine qualities. I think, but I mean, I don't know. I'm on hormones now. That could change. Who knows? I've heard stories of that, like changing sexualities and
Well,
attractions and all that stuff. So
I know.
currently, I don't have much there.
I know friends who have done the hormones and it kind of changed their mindset. You never know. You might next thing you know, you'll be like, "Hey, I'm dating a black guy too." Um,
Yeah, my sister would be real proud. She'd be real
yeah,
happy.
she's like, "Girl, thank you."
She's like,
Uh,
about damn time.
right. Um, uh, Me, like I said, when I get into the Jasmine mindset, like I'm currently talking to a guy right now. Unfortunately, he lives in another city. Um, but he's actually been very respectful. Like he hasn't, you know, uh, sent any dick pics or anything like that. But like I have partners, who I dress up with, and like I love like one of my partners. Uh, she lives in Erie, in Pennsylvania, and as a guy, I'm attracted to her as a guy when we're both guys. She's amazing. Um, if you guys ever get a chance, and you want to watch her Instagram, Allison, amazing, amazing drag performer. But I love the fact that she's attracted to both sides. She's attracted to my male persona as well as Jazmine, and she's been amazing with me the past 2 years. Shit, when did I start talking? Shit, I'm like a year and a half. Wow. Um, so uh, I get where you're coming from, like the whole asexual thing right now, because you're still trying to figure yourself out, trying to figure out who you are. You got to figure out who you are first before you deal with anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I know for me, I hated myself for a lot of years. At least like I don't know, probably 33 years or so. I didn't like myself. I hated myself. So I kind of feel like I love my ex wife. I still love her. We're still good friends and stuff. It's a different kind of love. It's more like a friendship love. And I almost feel like probably our whole relationship it was like that.
Hmm.
I just didn't. I don't know. I guess my head or brain or whatever. I didn't know how to like differentiate.
Um, it's funny. As my male persona, I have my moments where I don't say I hate myself, but go. I'm like walking by a store and I go, that dress would look good on me. How come I can't be in that dress? Those heels look amazing. I would love to have those heels. And unfortunately, I can't wear the heels a lot of girls wear because I wear a size 15 in women.
Mm.
Ugh, all the really cute fucking heels are 12 and under.
And I thought I was bad with 13s.
Oh, oh, sucks. Anyway, because of that, I had moments too, like before therapy, like right around there in the middle. Let me take that back. In the middle of therapy, I was starting to hate myself. Like, I love Jazmine. Like, I wish I was Jazmine more. And then there's my male persona. I'm like, but I'm here. And so I get to a point, kind of like me. It wasn't so much hating myself. It was more of a, who am I?
Mm.
I get those moments sometimes, but
You still get those moments?
I wouldn't say I get those moments now. It's just more like I love having the fact that I can do both, and being both is amazing to me.
I get it. There's a lot of people I know that like both aspects. For me, it's completely different. Like because I'm slowly coming out of work, but my work is still very like masculine or whatever. So like whenever I have to put in that role or that mask or whatever, like I feel terrible about myself. It's like my friend Claire, who was on the podcast in the previous episode, she she mentioned to me one time about like me getting ready for work in the morning was like forced dysphoria,
Yes,
and it's like it's totally true. Like I put that refrigerator. It's been called refrigerator repairman by somebody, or refrigerator repairman uniform on, and oh my gosh, it like kills me on the inside.
I get the only time I feel that way is when I'm trying to put on like certain dresses or something like that. I'm like, oh, I look like a man. Ugh. But like I said, if when I put on certain dresses or whatever, like, boom, I'm okay because I can show my hips, I can show my ass, and I'm okay. But there's times it's like, ugh. But I get more body dysmorphia because of the weightlifting and stuff.
Hmm.
Like my body sends me this thing. You got to look a certain way. So if I see certain pics of me, like I delete it immediately. Or like people post me,
Mm.
oh yeah, I was out with such and such. I'm like, I want to send them a message like, can you delete that? Like I just look horrible. And then my wife's like, babe, you look amazing. I'm like, no, I look fat. I look horrible. I'm ugly. So those are the times I hate myself.
Mm. It's got to be hard.
Every once
Sorry,
in a while.
sorry, I have to go through that. That's bad. Or it's really hard.
Yeah, and same to you. Like I get it. Like it gets so sometimes you're just like, what doesn't help none?
What's
Social
that?
media.
Oh yeah, social media.
Instagram. I mean, some of these women, these girls on Instagram. Oh my, gorgeous. But it's funny. A lot of these cis women get all their stuff from trans women.
Hmm.
The getting your butt done comes from trans women. All the makeup artists, all the makeup videos you see on Instagram come from drag queens, come from trans women who practice years to perfect the art of looking like a beautiful woman. And now these cis women are coming through and using those skills, using those methods of how
Hmm.
to do their makeup. BBLs would never existed if it wasn't for trans women trying to look like a woman, going to back alley doctors who pump them their hips and their butts with silicone and substances that should never been in their body in the first place.
Well, it's a good thing you're not skipping leg day because you don't need to
No,
do that.
no, thank you. Like I said, if I did hormones, oh my god, I already know it would be bigger.
Well, It's a very slow process, but it's definitely changes happen for sure.
Well, I mean, it's a journey.
Oh
We all
yeah.
have. And your journey. Look, I personally think you're gorgeous,
Well, thank you.
and I know you have your moments. You look in the mirror like, ugh, fuck the social media. Fuck with what society say you should look like. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I definitely struggle with that a lot of times. But I'm definitely getting to a place where I'm more comfortable with who I am, and um, I feel like in the last week or so I've had like a radical amount of self acceptance and stuff beyond like I probably ever imagined. Like I just had this like sudden realization that like I'm not broken. I don't need to be fixed. Um,
No, the world needs to be fixed, not you.
hmm hmm Agreed. Like I was thinking, I even posted a question in the Discord. I was like, if somebody had a cure to like fix, I'm doing air quotes for fix your cross dressing or gender shit or whatever, would you want that? Like, is that something you would want? And like, for me, I don't. I like who I am. I like who I become. I'm much happier, a much nicer person, more outgoing. The old me, fucking miserable, didn't like talking to anybody, total isolation. It was just not good. How about you? With if there was a magic cure for cross dressing or transgender shit or whatever, is that something you would want?
So there used to be this Reddit I used to follow. It was called Exchange Bill, and the only thing it was like you could take this magic pill and you could be a woman for how long the pill lasts. You could be a man for as long as the pill lasts. You could be a trans woman for as long as the pill lasts. And of course, people have used. You can be exchange pregnant, exchange plus. Yes, I would love to be able to take a pill, pop it in, and be a woman for a day. I would. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I can be a woman for a whole day, where I wouldn't have to shave, I wouldn't have to do, I wouldn't have to prep my face, I wouldn't have to put on these boobs. I could be. I would love to, just to experience it. But at the same time, I think I wouldn't say I fixed my problem, and it's almost like I think for a lot of cross dressers, like doing this is putting a band aid on for what we really want to be.
Hmm
And I'm not saying I want to be a woman because I think I think I said that to my therapist. I'm like, I wouldn't want to. I don't want the responsibility of being a woman.
hmm
That's a huge responsibility, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. Being a woman is a huge responsibility, and not only a woman, a black woman at that, a black trans woman.
hmm
That is a huge. I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know if I have the strength for it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, do I really want to go through
I think just from the little bit that I've talked to you and I've known you, I definitely think you'd be strong enough for it. Whether or not that's a path you want to go down, that's totally up to you. But I definitely think you'd have the strength for it.
that? Well, I appreciate that. I know I have the strength. That is the strength part.
And I don't mean physical strength, because
I
you
know
definitely have that.
it's for me. It'll be more of the in my male persona. I'm a mentor to a lot of people who look up to me for that strength, and I have a lot of responsibilities in that male persona. A lot.
Hmm
So switch over to permanent Jasmine. I could still take on those responsibilities. I could. That's not a problem. And it's just, do I really want to do it? I have, like I said, I've juggled with it. I've thought about it a lot. Like I said, right now, I enjoy being. the male persona is fun. I'm living my life. I'm having a good time. I have a beautiful wife. Like if right now, if I went upstairs to my wife, babe, tomorrow I'm starting hormones. She'd be like, okay, totally support. I know her, totally support. She'll be the one. She'll guide me all the way through to how to be a woman. I already know. Um, but it's the whole switching everything around. I don't feel like doing all that right now.
It's a
Um,
lot.
it is. It's a lot. Like I said, I was with like I said, me and my situationship. I've been with her from a guy all the way up to where she's at now. Like I've seen her grow, and I've seen the things she's been through. I'm kind of like, I just don't feel like going through that right now. Now I am working on things where I can retire from my job I'm at right now within the next couple of years, and maybe then I'll revisit. Maybe I'll revisit. And go, you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
Have you thought about like microdosing?
Um. So that did pop in my head at one point. Um. But like I said, right now, no, because I like.
Yeah, that's a total good reason. If you're listening, she showed her muscles. We went to
Uh,
the gun show.
yeah. My girl, Josie. She's a trans female bodybuilder, and I know what she goes through right now, and it's kind of like, um, I'm like me and her both like having our muscles,
Hmm.
and so like I said, the micro dosing. Like I said, I've thought about it, um, but I like to once again do that, and
Yeah, your friend Josie, you says bodybuilder, trans bodybuilder or whatever. Um, do you know if she's had like I'm assuming she has to like work harder to maintain
she
or
she
to build muscles? Because I know I've had in the 3.5 months I've been on hormones. I've had a bit of a loss of muscle and even stamina.
well she goes for competition. She goes off and on the hormones, from what I know. So I actually thought at one point, like I said, well, I can always keep the muscle. I said I can always go for like I had like one plan I had at one point was I said, well, if I decide to do this, I said I can always get feminizing facial surgery, and then I can get small like some kind of BBL to pop the hips, pop the butt more, and I can always get breast implants, um, and then live my life the way I want to live it because I've seen it done. But and also now we're going to go more explicit part of I love sex.
Hmm.
I love having sex. I think sex is one of the most greatest and the most um, experiences you can have as a person. And I love having sex with a woman. I love being more of a dominant top, if you want to say. I like my tool. I love using my tool. It's amazing. I love it. I love the feeling. I love the sensation. And my fear was if I go on hormones, you know, because I've seen it doesn't work anymore. But then I remember,
Guilty. Yeah.
and then I had a friend, not man, well, she we met on FetLife, a black trans woman, and I posted my story about I don't think I want to go on hormones. I think I want to do this and all that. And she was like, I've been on hormones so much this year. I haven't lost an inch. This is how big it is. She said, you don't lose sensation, and let me tell you how to do it. And I was kind of like, oh, well. She was like, she's like, you like to work out. Think of it as your penis is a muscle
Hmm.
to work it out every day. If you don't work it out, guess what? You're going to lose a sensation. You're going to lose an inch. You're going to lose. She's like, I masturbate. She's like, I do this, I do that, and it still works to this day.
Oh, it's definitely a use it or lose it kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I know the hormones shut down certain stuff, um, and that's how I'm like, because I like to, you know. And I know some trans when I've dated, they use it for so many months and then they come off of it. So everything works again. And then I'm like, no, I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way.
To me, it seems like a lot of work to get on hormones and then to like stop and get back on it. But I get it. I totally understand it, and I totally get it.
Yeah,
I
and that's
don't, I don't think I'd want to do it though.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I enjoy, like I said, I love having sex. It's okay, everybody. Yes, we still love having sex. And to go into sex, like once again, I don't dress to have sex. Doesn't happen. And it's funny. Here's a funny part. I've gotten more trans and cis women hit my Instagram of like, "Hey, how are you doing? Beautiful."
Ah, interesting.
Like they're like, "You're sexy. You're attractive. I would love to meet you." And this and that. I'm like, I live my life as a male, and they're like, "That's fine. I want to meet Jasmine. I want to do this and that." Like, wow, okay.
Interesting. So you get a lot of cis women reaching out to you.
I've had a few cis women hit me up on Instagram, FetLife, and it's really interesting. Um, I'm like, as a male, how come I like? Why don't you hit me up as a male? And then one day my wife was like, because women and trans women feel more comfortable around you because you present yourself that way. And I'm like, right, the
It's like
dick
a
pic.
safety thing.
Yes. I'm like the dick pics. I think about the dick pics.
Well, you're not getting dick pics from the cis women, probably.
Just boobs. And I like boobs.
Boobs are good. Who doesn't
And
like boobs?
don't get me wrong, I'll put myself out there. A good dick pic is nice if we talk to each other for at least a month. Not even a month. Like we've got to know each other. At least let me know your favorite color first before boom, oh, there's 12 inches. Oh, that's great.
Maybe don't make that the first message. Have a little bit of back and forth.
And it's funny. I actually started my Instagram kind of I want to say experiment, but just to see what my wife was talking about when it comes to men, how men act. And I was like, oh, this is how they act. I'm like, ugh. I'm so happy. I'm so happy the way my mom and dad raised me.
Hmm.
They raised me to respect people and respect men and women. And like I said, I, I, I just don't understand the whole sending a dick pic. That it's that doesn't do anything for me.
It's like, oh, cool, you got a dick.
Yeah, that's great. I have one.
Cool.
You're not going to see it,
Yeah.
but I have. And,
You
and
just
for
send a picture back.
right, I'm like, and mine is bigger.
They probably like that though.
They do, and
But
that's why I don't send it back.
yeah, don't do it then. Don't do that. Probably a bad idea. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I first started my Instagram, it was at the advice of my therapist to like, because I was like super deep in the closet and stuff, and she suggested that I start an Instagram to put myself out there and be more visible. And when I started, it was as like cross dresser, and I definitely got a lot more male attention as cross dresser than I did like more trans. Whenever I started being more trans specific or trans-ish or whatever. But I guess I also don't like post a lot of like boob pictures and shit, so maybe that would probably help.
Well, when I first started talking to my therapist about transitioning, like we talked about it, she was like, "This is what you need to do on your vacation: dress up 3 times in a row, like 3 times like a day. I mean, a week." And I was like, "Okay," and I did it, and I was like, "This is amazing. This sucks prepping every day.
It's a lot of work.
It is. I go through a whole ritual, and that's why I only dress like once or twice a week. Sometimes I've done it, and the most I like when I was in Atlanta, I dressed like 3 4 times while I was out there.
Hmm.
loved it. I love being dressed, but at the same time, it's kind of like the prep sucked. I'm like, can I just be a woman and just put on a dress and just leave out the house a little bit? I'm like,
Just be naturally beautiful.
yeah, yeah, this takes work. Like, and I'm very flattered when people say you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. I'm like, this took work, and the thing is, like, when I'm doing my makeup, I'm asking, is this worth it? Like every time, like, is this worth it? Is this worth it? And then when I get the likes and I get people messaging me, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. My wife, when I walk downstairs after I'm done, she's like, "Hey, gorgeous," and then she'll just like, "You look great," and it's like, okay, it's worth it.
How long is your routine or your getting ready time? How long does that take?
So sorry it took me so long this time.
No, you're
You
fine. You're fine.
usually it takes me about. Sorry, I got some hair in my face. It usually takes me about makeup takes me about an hour and a half. Um, Now, when it comes to shaving and finding the right outfit, combing out my hair, pressing out, that adds on another 30, 45 minutes. So my prep, everything takes me about 2 hours,
Oh dang.
maybe two and a half, depending.
You got so you have to like make sure you set time ahead for that.
Yeah. So like, if I know I'm going out, I'll like, okay, they're like, we're meeting up at 11, so I know I need to start getting ready around like 7:30
Okay.
because I have to do makeup, shave, find around like. Well, let me take that back. I usually find the outfit probably, and it's funny is like I found the right, like I've done it where I found the outfit like I'm wearing this, and then in the middle I'm like, oh, this looks wrong, and I take it off and I'm like going through my closet, and then I thought like something was wrong with me, and then my wife's like, all women do that.
Oh girl, I do that too. I do that all the time.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay. So I know I need to start getting ready around 7:30, and I'm usually ready about 9:30 with prepping, shaving, makeup, outfit. Of course, you gotta take your pics.
Hmm.
That takes another 30 minutes pre-game, and then I'm out the door.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I do that all the time. I'll have stuff that I've worn a bunch of times, and I'm like, it just doesn't. I don't
Yeah,
know. I just don't like it. Doesn't feel right. Didn't look good.
yeah. I remember one day I was going out and put on one. I don't like this. Threw it off. Let me try. Throw it off. And I think I went through like four dresses.
Oh dang.
And then by the end of it, I ended up wearing like a cute body halter top and some shorts and some Converse, and I walked out the door.
Hmm. But you look pretty good too.
Yeah, I did okay.
Just
I did.
okay. You're being too easy or too hard on yourself.
I'm very very hard, and like I said, the
Eh.
what makes it worse because social media has your brain wired to where you're supposed to look.
Hmm. Dang.
You ever had that one piece of hair that like sat on your nose? It drove you nuts.
All the time.
Oh,
It's not as bad now. I stopped wearing a wig like a little over a year ago, or February 2021. But since my hair's been growing, I definitely have like the hair that like gets in my mouth when I'm eating, or it's always in my way.
I just want to say fuck you because you can grow out hair.
Oh,
I because traits. I'm bald. Um,
bald is beautiful.
it is. I like if I transitioned, I would do the whole bald thing for a while just to play with it.
I think in Doja Cat didn't she go bald?
So they all do it. They all do like the shave head here and there.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't. I don't know if you heard there was like a wig roundtable last year sometime. There was a lot of controversy over that because basically two or three of us didn't like wigs. um, but
But the
I totally get it, and I think it's cool to be able to like switch different styles and stuff, and I definitely understand people that can't grow hair and
I think the wigs are fun because you can switch it up.
mm-hmm.
Um, I realized like I've played with a bunch of wigs. I've done brunette, black, red, but I like blonde. Like blonde for some reason just fits me. I just love playing with blonde hair.
Blonde looks good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I've always kept mine brown. I like my brown hair.
Play with it. Have fun with it.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get it colored.
There you go.
I need to get past my job though. My job's such a stickler for basically anything.
Yeah, the whole your hair has to look like this.
Oh yeah, like my job. Like I'm not supposed to have long hair at my job. I'm kind of got special case, and I keep it in a bun. But I'm not supposed to have nail polish. I'm not supposed to have facial hair. Not that I want facial hair, but you can have like certain styles, and they all look like pirates.
Oh, you sound very similar.
Can't have piercings.
Your and our job sounds very similar, so I get it.
It's like very like in my mind, it's very like just kind of antiquated, especially for what I do because I do like alarms and cameras and all that stuff.
Mm.
So maybe it's not exactly the same, but there's definitely like some relation to what you do. I know it's kind of a stretch.
We're close.
It's like third or fourth cousins.
Yeah, we're very close.
Well, shit. Damn, I didn't realize it's almost 2 hours already. I should probably go get dinner. I haven't eaten in a while.
What time? Okay, so it is 8:35 where you're at. It's
Yeah,
35. My dogs are looking at me like because I haven't fed them yet, so it's their dinner time.
they're ready for dinner too.
Yeah, so trust me. I know, I get it.
Well, shit. Is there anything else you'd like to add or say,
Just
or any questions for me even?
you. I mean, we've had some good dialogue. I think we had some good back and forth. If I had to say anything, um, representation matters. So any um, company or any social media outlet that showcase people like us, put us out there. I mean, the ones who are brave enough to put themselves out here. This is especially my sisters who want to but are afraid to, and I get it. Like I said, I'm still there, and doing this was a very nerve wracking, uh, anxiety inducing situation for me. So I
I
get
hear
it.
that. I hear that a lot.
Um, so just do it, as Nike say. Uh, please, and I'm saying this to you, please try to find the girls for more representation. Also, I think your podcast is definitely original and it's awesome. Um, and just be yourself. Anybody who watching this or listening to this, just be yourself. Be who you are. Have fun with it. Play with makeup, play with colors, play with dresses, play with lingerie. Get a little risque with it. Um, just have fun and fuck what society thinks. I still have my moments where I have my anxiety kicks in, and like when I go out, and it's funny. Like right now, I'm talkative or whatever. Like when I'm out, I'm actually very shy. I'm very quiet until somebody comes up to me and starts talking to me. Then I'm like, and I can't shut up. Um, um, but If you're one of those girls who want to go out, go do it. And if you need a support group, find me on Instagram. And we can always talk. If you want to a safe place, me and my wife, we call our house Equilibrium because it is a safe place. Everything is equal. Um, we don't judge anybody for who they are. Uh, so if you need to talk to anybody, you can always message me and we can have as long as a conversation you want to.
Cool. They can also come talk to me and get some outwardly representation. Be cool, and also find us on the Discord. I'm gonna get you on the Discord once we're done.
Please.
And come talk to us if you have any questions for Jazmine or myself or Giselle or Tommy, or I think my next guest is Brianna, or I just did Sarah Kay. Sarah Kay is awesome. She's from Scotland, I think.
Well,
But yeah, just come on there and talk to us, and it really helps. It really helps getting out there and talking to other people.
it really does. Thank you for creating this podcast, you and Gazelle. This is awesome. Um, it helps people like me to be more comfortable, and it's great to listen to other people's stories. And I do listen to podcasts. I've done it where I am at the house and I just play it in the background. So I'm like, while I'm cleaning things, and I stop and I look, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and oh, I can relate to that. And so, um, keep doing it, please. Keep it up, put it out there, and get people comfortable for who they are with who they are.
That's what I want to do. I want to get people out there and out of their shells. Um, so anyway, thank you so much for joining us and being on the podcast and telling your story. And then I'd love to have you on again sometime. Maybe get you on a roundtable
Oh, let's do
or
it.
I think it'd be, oh my gosh, it'd be great. I think if we could get some more Black cross dressing and trans people and maybe do a roundtable with y'all, I think that'd be great. I think it'd be fantastic. I would love to do that.
I will message them, and I guarantee I can get a few girls on here with you.
I would definitely love that. Even if one on one with them, I think it'd be fantastic too. Either way, or both ways, or three ways, whatever.
I do
I
like
think
it.
it'd be so fantastic. I would love to get representation out.
So I just want to make a toast. Yes,
Oh yeah,
podcast.
yes. Mine was already empty.
Thank you so much for
Um,
having me on. I really appreciate this.
yeah, of course. Thank you so much for being on. I really do appreciate it. It takes a lot of guts to put yourself out there. Cool.
Well, thank you again, and good night.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. If you enjoyed Jazmine's story and would like to share your own, or would like to connect with Giselle, myself, many of the previous Cross YAAS guests, or even a bunch of the listeners, you can find us on the Cross YAAS Confidential Discord, which can be found on the crossyaaspodcast.com website. Or if you want to just reach out to me directly and possibly Giselle, you can go to the Cross YAAS podcast Instagram page. Reach out, because I would love to hear your story. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to get your story out there, because just like Jazmine says, representation matters. And if her story or any of the other previous guests like really have reached you, I promise you they more than likely will help somebody else. So anyway, if you enjoy this, please share with your friends, because they probably like it too. And just like Jazmine says at the very end, remember to be yourself. Bye. I'm not here to diagnose or treat anything. I'm just here to share my story, have others come on the podcast to share their story, to help you learn about the world of cross-dressing, sexuality, and gender a bit more.